So today we're starting with the lecture of organon, that is from drug proving, that is aphorism number 105 to 145. We separately start with your syllabus. For senior it is separate and for you it is separate syllabus. Now we starting with the aphorisms, that is up till 104 we studied, that is case taking. After 104 we starting with the drug proving, that is aphorism number 105 to 145. So actually you know about something drug proving in pharmacy. So what is definition of drug proving? Yes, this is definition of drug proving. But actual how the process is done and what instructions Dr. Honeyman given, that is given in organon part of view. That is the view of Dr. Honeyman regarding the drug proving. Actually how the process is going on of drug proving, that is given from aphorism number 105 to 145. These are the lot of aphorisms. Up to 40 aphorisms are regarding the drug proving, and in this these are divided into different parts. The summary we studied in last lecture, that is what is given in 105, what is given in 106, but the summary, that is what is the actual part of drug proving in this aphorism number 105 to 110, that is regarding the actually what is the definition of drug proving, what is the definition of drug, what is medicine, what is remedy. This is regarding the aphorism number 105 to 110. Then the next, that is 111 to 120, it is regarding the primary and secondary action of drugs, how the primary and secondary action of drugs is going when we are proving the drug on the healthy human beings. Then in 121 and 122, this is the summary of aphorisms. I will first explain about the summary of aphorisms, what is given in different aphorisms. In this, in aphorism number 121 and 122, it is regarding the ascertainment of doses of medicines for proving experiments. That is what should be the doses of medicine for proving experiments. When we prove the medicines on healthy human being, or when we are doing the experiments on healthy human beings, then what should be the doses of that medicines, that is explained in 121 and 122. Then 123, this is also most important aphorism, that is regarding the methods of preparation of drugs for proving experiments. These are the methods of preparation of drugs for proving experiments. In this they gave the different methods of preparation of drugs in aphorism number 123, and prior to this, that is 116 and 117, that is regarding the idiosyncrasy. This is also an important point from exam point of view, that is idiosyncrasy. That may be asked for a short note, or that may be asked for a 10-mark question, that is idiosyncrasy. 117, it is main aphorism, but slightly it is also explained in 116. So the main aphorism regarding the idiosyncrasy is 117. So 117, then 122, 121 and 122, these are the doses regarding doses of medicine for proving experiments. Then 123, it is regarding the methods of preparation of drugs for proving experiments. Then 124 and 127, that is 124 to 127, it is regarding the precautionary measures to be taken during the proving experiments. What should be the precautionary measures we do or take while we prove the medicine or we do the proving experiments. Then 128, सर लेक्चर सुरू आहे माझं.
बर बर
हो
ठीक आहे संध्याकाळी कर.
हो हो. Then aphorism number 128 and 128 to 132, it is regarding the how to conduct drug proving, rules for an exhaustive proving of drugs. That is the how the actual process of drug proving is done, that is given in aphorism number 128 to 132. Then aphorism number 133 to 136, these are regarding the when a medicine can be considered to be thoroughly proved, when the medicine can be considered to have been thoroughly proved, when we have to prove the medicines, that instructions given in 133 to 136. Then 137, it is regarding the relative merits of employing large and moderate doses of medicines, that is what should be the relative merits of employing the large doses moderate doses of medicine in proving. Then 138 to 144, it is regarding the methods of conducting drug proving. In this they give the methods of conducting the drug proving. And lastly aphorism number 130, 143 and 142, 145, it is regarding the building up of the materia medica, or the real materia medica, how we form the real materia medica, that is given in aphorisms number 143 to 145. So this is the summary of drug proving, how the actual drug proving is done, what are the different points given in these aphorisms. This is the summary. Now we started with the aphorism number 105. So 145 to 145, you have to remember this is regarding the drug proving. The huge number of aphorisms, that is near about 40 aphorisms that are related to the drug proving. Then in this 105 to 145, regarding how to gain the knowledge of instrument adapted for the cure of the natural diseases. It is regarding the how to gain knowledge of instrument. Knowledge of instruments means it is in this the instrument is refers to the word that is medicines. That is knowledge of medicines adapted for the cure of natural disease. In this they use the word instrument for the medicine. You have to remember that here the instrument is word used for the medicines. In this we have to regarding how to gain the knowledge of instrument, we have to know the knowledge about that medicines that are adapted for the cure of natural diseases, that medicine we are going to give to treat the natural diseases. So these are the aphorisms 105 to 145 regarding the knowledge of instrument that is required for cure the natural diseases. Now started with the aphorisms, that is 105. What is given in this aphorism? First I will read the aphorisms. The second point of the business of a true physician relates to acquiring a knowledge of the instruments intended for the cure of natural diseases, investigating the pathogenetic power of the medicines in order, when called on to cure, to be able to select from among them one from the list of whose symptoms and artificial disease may be constructed as similar as possible to the totality of the principal symptom of the natural disease sought to be cured. So what is given in 105? The second point of the business of a true physician. What is the first point of business of true physician? This is the second point. Why they give the second point? Anyone? What is the first point? First point. Yes, knowledge of disease. And for this, what is required? To know the knowledge of disease from the patient, and how we will collect it. Yes, the first point is by the case taking. We collect the signs and symptoms and the knowledge of disease through the patient by taking his case. So first point is case taking, and after finishing the case taking, we have to know the knowledge of medicine, and to know the knowledge of medicine we have to know the drug proving. That is how our drugs are proved on healthy human beings, and how we collect this their signs and symptoms, and how our materia medica is formed. this knowledge is must to cure the patient. So this is second point. And first point is case taking, that we have to know a proper case taking. Then and then only we select, on the basis of that case taking, we select the similarity of that medicine, and medicine can be selected and cure can be done. So this is the second point of business of a true physician, relates to acquiring a knowledge of the instruments. Instruments here also used for the word, that is medicine, intended for the cure of a natural disease. For, for what we have to know the knowledge of instrument for to cure the natural diseases, and investigating the pathogenetic power of the medicines, and to know the investigating the pathogenetic power of medicines, what we give the uh, to the patient, that is medicines, their pathogenetic power must to know to us, in order when called on to cure, to be able to select from among them one from the list of whose symptoms and artificial disease may be constructed as similar as possible to the totality of the principal symptom of the natural disease sought to be cured. So, by knowing the investigating pathogenic power of that medicines and about the knowledge of the instrument or the knowledge of the medicine, we select the similar medicine to that particular disease condition of natural disease, and by giving the medicine we produce the artificial disease in the patient, and that artificial disease annihilate the natural disease, and in this way the cure occur in the patient. So this is the most important point, that is to cure the patient we must know the knowledge of instrument, means we know the knowledge of medicine. So in this they gave about also the knowledge of the instrument adapted for the cure of natural diseases, and to know the pathogenetic power of medicines. These are the two motives of drug proving, that is to know the knowledge about the medicine, and to for the cure of natural diseases, and also we have to know the pathogenetic power of that medicines. And in this, homeopathy is primarily a healing art. What is homeopathy? It is a healing art. We have to heal the patient. The condition is essential for the successful use of these two folds. That is, first one, the scope and the limits of this art should be clearly defined and well understood. What is this? The scope and limits of this art should be clearly defined and well understood. When we use any pathy, in that condition we have to know its scope also and its limitation also. So when we use the homeopathic medicine to treat the patient, we know about the homeopathy, what are the scope of homeopathy and what are the limitations of homeopathy, in order that no attempt be made to exercise the under circumstances which do not call for it, and which would necessarily procure success. And when we know its scope and limitation very well, then and then we can practice it very well. In this, the second point they gave about it, a thorough familiarity with the tools and or the implements of the art, the origin, nature, powers, and capabilities of each and their relations to each other. This knowledge would teach us properly to select our tools according to the work we have to perform. And when we know about its origin, its nature, its power, its capabilities of each and their relation to each other, then and then only we can use this tool very nicely, and this can work very, or work we have to perform, that is according to the work we have to perform. So these are the 2 points, that is regarding the pathy which we are going to use. Then in this aphorism, that is what is the main theme of this aphorism, that is the investigating the pathogenetic power of the medicine intended to cure the natural diseases. And to cure the natural diseases, the practitioner of medicine performs many functions. The physician must have the thorough knowledge, that is regarding the disease, he must having the knowledge regarding the medicine, he must having the knowledge regarding the how to cure the patient, that is aphorism number third, that is different knowledges of physician. And in this, the physician or the practitioner of medicine performs many functions when he is treating the patient, as he must be a diagnostician, that is he have to diagnose the disease condition, then he must prognosis done the prognosis of that particular condition, or he may be work as a surgeon or as a chemist or a hygienist and a therapeutic by introducing into the organism of the patient certain substances from the external world which have the power of producing special medications in the condition of the organism, and by means of those medications he aimed to cause the diseased action of the organism to cease and be supplemented by the normal and the healthy action. So when he is practicing, he must be a diagnostician, he must be a prognoster, he must be a surgeon, he must be a chemist, he must be a hygienist, so and he must be a therapeutic, as he do not give only a medicine to the patient, but he done the all other activities regarding the patient, as he have to manage the case and not only give the medicine to the patient, and then only he can be a perfect physician. So these points also explained in these aphorisms regarding the drug proving, that is aphorism number 105. In this they also explain about the what is drug and what is proving, that is definition of drug proving. So what is the drug? The drug are the medicinal substances when they are given in a physiological doses are able to change or able to alter the state of health, that we call it as a drug. In this they give the definition of drug proving, that is what is mean by drug and what is mean by proving. So what is mean by drug? Drug are those medicinal substances when they are given in physiological doses are able to change or able to alter the state of health, that is when we give any drug to the patient that can alter his state of health, that we call it as a drug. And what is mean by proving? Proving means experimenting, something we experiment, that we call it as a proving. So drug proving relates to the acquiring the knowledge of instrument intended for the cure of natural diseases and investigation of the pathogenetic power of medicines. So this is the definition of drug proving, that is drug proving relates to acquiring the knowledge of instrument. In this we have to know about the knowledge of instrument, means we have to know the knowledge of medicine that are intended for the cure of natural diseases. What is the motive of it? That is we have to cure the natural diseases, and second motive is investigation of the pathogenetic power of the medicine. So this is explained in aphorism number 105. Understand everyone? What is the definition of drug proving? What is mean by drug? What is mean by proving? And definition of drug proving. And in this they also explain about the scope and limitation that must be known to the physician when he is using the homeopathic medicines. This is aphorism number 105. Understand? Okay, we start with a next aphorism, that is aphorism number 106. So what is the aphorism 106? The whole pathogenetic effects of the several medicines must be known, that is to say, all the morbid symptoms and alteration in the health that each of them is specially capable of developing in the healthy individuals must first have been observed as far as possible before we can hope to be able to find among them and to select the suitable homeopathic remedies for most of the natural diseases. So what is given in aphorism number 106? The theme of this aphorism is, that is as many drugs as possible must be proved so that we could select homeopathic remedies for almost all natural diseases. So they gave regarding the proving of medicines, that is we have to prove as many as medicines, and when after proving that medicine we know the knowledge of that medicines, and when we have to number of medicines available, then and then only we can cure all types of natural diseases. So as many drugs as possible must be proved. That is, we have to prove number of medicines. Then and then only we can select a homeopathic remedies for most of the or almost all natural diseases. Then we have the instruments that are available to treat the natural diseases of any kind. So we have to prove as many as drugs. That is given in aphorism number 106. As many drugs as must be proved so that we could select homeopathic remedies for almost all natural diseases. This is the theme of that aphorism. That is, and along with this we have to know the knowledge of medicine. So in this they we also explain that the medicines are those drug substances which in dynamic form proved on healthy human beings of both sexes, different age group and at different locality, and taking into consideration all the different factors whose effect on man mind as well as on physical body are clearly known to us, with its duration of action and relationship with other drug is called as medicine. In this aphorism we explain about the knowledge of medicine, and in this what is mean by medicine, the definition of medicine or what is meant by medicine, they explain that is the medicines are those drug substances which in dynamic form proved on healthy human beings. That medicines we proved on a healthy human beings, the drugs we proved on a healthy human beings of both sexes, different ages, different locality and various constitution, and whose effects on mind and physical body are clearly known to us, with its duration of action also and its relationship with other drug also, and this we call it as a medicines. And by knowing the knowledge of that medicine, the homeopathic physician have to follow the law of simplex. That is, he has to administer only one single medicine at a time, yet he should have knowledge of several medicine with its symptom totality after proving the drug on healthy human beings. Yes, yeah, we know that the you have to know the number of medicines, but while selecting the homeopathic medicine, you have to choose only a single simple medicine at a time, as we consider only single medicine at one time and not a multiple medicine given at a one time. According to Hahnemann, only one medicine must be given to the patient and not a number of medicine at a time. So this is the explanation regarding the aphorism number 106, that we have to prove as many as medicine to know the knowledge of medicine. In this what is mean by medicine, and after knowing the number of drugs we can select that remedies for almost all natural diseases. This is aphorism number 106. Understand? Yes, so we shift towards next aphorism, that is aphorism number 107. So aphorism number 107, what is given in this aphorism? If in order to ascertain this, medicines be given to sick persons only even though they be administered singly and alone, then little or nothing precise is seen of their true effects, as those peculiar alterations of the health to be expected from the medicine are mixed up with the symptom of the disease and can seldom be distinctly observed. So in 107 it is regarding the drug proving must do not done on a sick person. That is, we cannot prove drug on a sick person. That is given in aphorism number 107. So why we do not prove medicines on, or sorry, drugs on sick persons? Yes, this is the answer. That is, proving should not be done in sick. Why? That is because the precise true effects of drug cannot be noted, as peculiar alterations of the health to be expected from the medicines are mixed up with the symptom of the disease and can seldom be distinctly observed. that when we prove the medicine on a sick, in sick person already there is presence of symptoms, some symptoms are present in a sick, and when we give that medicine to that sick person, the their symptom of natural disease and the symptom of medicinal disease get mixed, and we do not get the actual portrait of that drug. This is one reason. And second reason, it may be when we give the medicine to the sick person, the symptom of it may get altered, that is it may get cured, or it may get increased, that is the symptom of that sick person may get increased or it may get cured also, as if the medicine is similar to the symptom of that particular sick person. In that case, the natural disease of the sick person gets cured. But if it goes in a wrong direction, the medicine goes in a wrong direction, it may produce a lot of symptoms in a sick person, and already patient is suffering from some symptoms, and after giving medicine we cannot produce more symptom in that person. So these are the different reasons for which we cannot prove medicine on a sick person. So for this reason we prove medicine on only healthy human beings. First we will investigate the patient or the human being, and after this we will prove the medicine on that healthy human being only, and not on a sick person. So this is the aphorism regarding the not to prove the medicine drugs on a sick person. That is aphorism number 107. Understand? That is, a homeopathic drug should not be proved on a sick or deceased person, because already he is in a distress and discomfort, and if the drug is administered to sick person, the symptom of the drug and the symptom of the disease gets mixed, and we do not get the actual picture of that drug. These are the different reasons for which we cannot prove the drugs on a sick person. This is aphorism number 107. Very simple aphorism. Yes. Then we shift towards the next aphorism, that is aphorism number 108. In few minutes meeting will be end. After that I will again recall the meeting. You have to join fast. Huh? Aphorism number 108. First, I will read the aphorism. There is therefore no other possible way in which the peculiar effects of medicine on the health of individuals can be accurately ascertained. There is no sure, no more natural way of accomplishing this object than to administer the several medicine experimentally in moderate doses to healthy person, in order to ascertain what changes, symptoms and signs of their influence each individual produces on the health of the body and of the mind, that is to say, what disease elements they are able and to tend to produce, since as has been demonstrated, all the curative power of the medicines lies in this power they possess of changing the state of man health, and is revealed by observation of the latter. So this is aphorism, that is regarding the drug proving must be done on a healthy human beings. In 107 they explain about the drugs cannot be proved on a sick person, and 108 they gave regarding the drug proving done on a healthy human being. So what is the main theme of this aphorism? That administer the medicines experimentally, that when we give the medicines to the healthy human beings, that must be given in a moderate doses to the healthy persons, and to ascertain what changes, symptoms, signs of their influence each individually produces on the health of the body and the mind, that is to ascertain what are the changes that are going in the body of that patient or in the mind of that patient, we their influence each individually produces on the health of the body and the mind can be collected, or we have to ascertain these changes. So in this, how is drug proving is done? In this, we have to give the moderate doses, and these moderate doses given to the only healthy persons. This is most important. That is, we have to prove the drugs on a healthy human beings. And after giving the moderate doses of that medicine, what we are going to take or check, that is, we have to ascertain the signs and symptoms that are produced by the influence each individually produces on the health of the body and mind of that particular healthy human beings. The curative power of the medicine lies in this power they possesses of changing the state of man health and is revealed by observation of the later. So what is the curative power of the medicine lies, that is lie in this power they possesses of changing the state of health. What is the curative power? The curative power is the power which when the power that possesses the changing the state of man health, that is when we give the medicines to the healthy human being, the state of health gets changed, and this is the power, that is the curative power. When we give the same medicines to the sick person, by similarity the same power will work and that sick person gets cured by this power of producing the or changing the state of health of a man, and is revealed by the observation of the later. So this is the aphorism, that is drug proving on healthy individuals. That is ideal way of proving. What should be the ideal way of proving drug? That is, it should be proved in a moderate doses and it should be proved on a healthy human beings. As due to the above reasons, drug cannot be proved on a sick person. Above reason means that is a reason given in 107. Due to this reason, we prove there is one and only one way to ascertain what is curative in medicine. For this reason, we have to know what is curative in medicine. For this reason, we have one and only one way. That is, what is the way which is sure is to prove the drug on a group of healthy person. As we know, the drug proving should not be done on a sick person. Then we have the only one way to ascertain the curative power, or to know the what is the curative power of medicine. We have to prove that drug on a healthy human being in a moderate doses and collect their signs and symptoms. So this is the ideal way of proving the drugs, that is drug proving must be done on a healthy individual and not on a sick. So these are the two aphorisms, that is 107 and 108, that is regarding the not prove on a sick person, and 108 that is regarding the drug proving must be done on a healthy individuals. Understand everyone? So this aphorism having footnote, 108 having footnote. So what is this footnote? Not one single physician, as far as I know, during the previous 2500 years thought of this so natural, so absolutely necessary, and only genuine mode of testing medicines for their pure and peculiar effects in deranging the health of man. In order to learn about morbid state of each medicine is capable of curing, except the great immortal, that is Albert Owen Haller. So this is the most important name, that is Owen Haller. That is what Dr. Hahnemann gave in this footnote, that is footnote under 108. This is not one single physician, as far as I know, during the previous 2500 years, means before 2500 years, he not known a single physician, that is that thought of so natural and so absolutely necessary and only genuine mode of testing medicines, that is this is the most genuine mode of testing medicines, that is drug proving for the pure and the peculiar effect of the deranging health of a man. So this is the only one person, that is 2500 years back, this is only one person who done the drug proving on a man, that is drug proving on a man done only by Owen Haller before Hahnemann. So Owen Haller is the first person who done the drug proving. So Owen Haller is the first person who done the drug proving, and after this Hahnemann was the second. But the actual experimentation mostly done by the Hahnemann. He has not done that much experimentation on drug proving by Owen Haller. But the Owen Haller is the first person who put forth the mechanism of drug proving on a healthy human beings. Before Owen Haller, no one has a think about the proving of drug on a human beings. Before that, proving of drug is only done on a lower animals and not on a human beings. That is proving done on only lower animals. They gave the medicines to the lower animals and see their effects. But the Owen Haller is the first person who done the proving of medicines. That is what happens actually when we give the medicines to the human beings. That effects can be seen by only Owen Haller. So this is the footnote regarding that Owen Haller. You have to remember that name, Owen Haller. And he alone, besides myself, say the necessity of this, and this lower lines or the below lines are regarding the where he founds that knowledge about the Owen Haller. So this is not important. The main thing about this footnote is up to the Owen Haller. That is not one single physician, as far as I know, during the previous 2500 years thought of this so natural, so absolutely necessary and only genuine mode of testing medicines for their pure and peculiar effects in deranging the health of a man, in order to learn what morbid state of each medicine is capable of curing, except the great and immortal Owen Haller. So understand about footnote, that is 108. Understand? So student, wait for 5 minutes. I will rejoin the meeting. So joined most of, yes. Yes, started with the footnote 108, that is, it was only Owen Haller besides Master who have done proving in healthy human beings for the past 2500 years. So this is the theme of that footnote. Understand everyone?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So shifts towards next aphorism, that is 109. Up to 108, everyone clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We will.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So 109. It was the first that opened up this path which I have pursued with a perseverance that could only arise and be kept up by perfect conviction of the great truth, fraught with such blessings of humanity, that it is only by the homeopathic employment of medicines that the certain cure of human maladies is possible. So what is given in aphorism number 109? That is, Dr. Hahnemann took the own credit of drug proving. That is, it was Master who opened up this path of human proving. That is, Dr. Hahnemann, that is Master who opened up this path of human proving after the Owen Haller. And it is only by the homeopathic employment of medicines, that is, the certain cure of human maladies is possible. As it is only the homeopathic employment of medicines, it is done only in homeopathic medicines that certain cure of human maladies is possible. That is, human cure, a permanent cure, is only done by the homeopathy, by doing the work, by using the homeopathic medicines. And these homeopathic medicines are proved on a healthy human beings. That is, Dr. Hahnemann took the own credit. That is, Dr. Hahnemann is showing his own credit that he was the only person who has opened up a way to prove the drug on healthy person, which is a true path, and on this true path only cure of human diseases can be given, but except the Owen Haller. That is, he is the only person, that is, Dr. Hahnemann is the only person who gave the ideal path of cure, but that is except the Owen Haller, which first gave the idea about the drug proving. And in 109, Dr. Hahnemann took his own credit, that is, he was the showing his own credit that he was the only person who has opened up the way to prove a drug on healthy person, which is a true path. What is this? It is a true path, and this true path only cures human diseases can be given. That is, the human diseases can be cured by only this path of proving the drug on a healthy human beings. So this is the short aphorism, that is 109, that is own credit taken up by the Hahnemann regarding the drug proving. And the main theme of the drug proving first explained by the Owen Haller. Then 109 also having footnote, that is also regarding the drug proving. It is impossible that there can be another true best method of curing dynamic diseases. That is, it is impossible that there can be another true best method of curing dynamic diseases, that is, all diseases not strictly surgical, besides homeopathy, just as it is impossible to draw more than one straight link between two given points. He who imagines that there are another mode of curing diseases besides it could not have appreciated homeopathy fundamentally, nor practiced it with sufficient care, nor could be ever have seen or read cases of properly performed homeopathic cures. nor on the other hand could he have discerned the baselessness of all allopathic modes of treating diseases and their bad or even dreadful effects if with such lax indifference he places the only true healing art on an equality with those hurtful methods of treatment or alleges the latter to be auxiliaries to homeopathy which it could not do without. My true conscientious followers, the pure homeopathists with their successful almost never failing treatment might teach these persons better. So this is the footnote regarding the how homeopathy is superior to the allopathy. That is, they gave the how homeopathy is better than the allopathy, means they gave the scope of homeopathy and they gave the limitations of allopathy, and they gave that is it is impossible that there can be another true best method of curing dynamic diseases. So they gave that there is no any other method or any method that can cure the dynamic diseases. They gave the exceptions, that is all the diseases are not strictly surgical. So surgical diseases have our limitations of homeopathy, but all the diseases are not surgical diseases, and these dynamic diseases can best be cured by the homeopathy and not by the allopathy, as allopathic treatment is very hazardous to the patients and it is a very homeopathy very gentle and a permanent cure of the patient. So in short, they gave the scope of homeopathy and some demerits of allopathy in footnote number 109. And this is the first fruit of these labors, as perfect as they could be at that time, are recorded in the Fragmenta de Veribus Medicamentorum Positivis. So these are the page numbers, years and different that is a summary or bibliography from where they gave this knowledge. So this is not so important. The second point of this footnote is the first fruit of these labors, as perfect as they could be at that time, are recorded in the Fragmenta de Veribus Medicamentorum, so positivis. So this can be recorded from this, that is Fragmenta de Veribus. So this is the second point of this footnote. The below part is not so much important. These are the bibliography, that is from where it is collected. So this is footnote 109. In this they summarized, that is where are the proving is scripted, that is the drug proving is where scripted. They gave the summary of that, that is for its fruits of these labors are noted in Fragmenta de Veribus Medicamentorum Positivis, that is in 1805, that Hahnemann written in 1805, and more mature fruits in Rennie. So these are the sources of that drug proving, where they collected the knowledge of drug proving or they scripted the proving, that is from these sources, the first one and the second, that is fruits in Rennie. So understand what is given in footnote 109. Under footnote under 109, it is regarding the scope of homeopathy and some demerits of allopathy, and all these they gave the scripted, from where it is scripted, the sources of that scripted, that is from Fragmenta de Veribus and the fruits in Rennie. So these are the sources of that scripts of drug proving, that is included under footnote 109. You have to remember footnote also, what is given in that footnote. In 108 they gave regarding the first proving on healthy human beings done by Owen Heller, that is in footnote 108, and in 109 that is the gave regarding the scope of homeopathy and some demerits of allopathy, and along with the sources of drug proving from where it is scripted, that is footnote under 109. Understand everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now today's last aphorism, that is aphorism number 110. That is regarding the that is effects or how allopaths can done the proving on healthy human beings, how they record the symptoms on healthy human beings. So this is regarding the allopathy effects of drug on healthy persons. The main theme of that is allopath effects of drug on healthy persons, that is how allopaths records the symptoms from healthy persons. So this is in aphorism number 110, that is I saw moreover that the morbid lesions which previous authors had observed to the results from the medicinal substances when taken into stomach of healthy persons. Listen carefully what I am reading. I saw moreover that the morbid lesions which previous authors had observed to results from medicinal substances when taken into stomach of healthy persons, either in large doses given by mistake or in order to produce death in themselves or others or under other circumstances, accorded very much with my own observations when experimenting with the same substances on myself or on healthy individuals. These authors give details of what occurred as histories of poisoning and as proofs of the pernicious effects of these powerful substances, chiefly in order to warn others from their use, partly also for the sake of exalting their own skill when under the use of the remedies they employ to the combat these dangerous accidents. Health gradually returned by, but partly also when the persons so affected died under their treatment in order to seek their own justification in dangerous character of these substances, which they then termed poisons. None of these observers ever dreamed that the symptoms they recorded merely as proofs of the noxious and poisonous character of these substances were sure revelations of the powers of these drugs to extinguish curatively similar symptoms occurring in natural diseases, that these their pathogenic phenomenon were intimations of their homeopathic curative action, and that the only possible way to ascertain their medicinal powers is to observe those changes of health medicines are capable of producing in the healthy organism, for the pure peculiar powers of medicines available for the cure of disease are to be learned neither by any ingenious and the prior speculations, nor by the smell, taste, or the appearance of the drugs, nor by a chemical analysis, nor yet by the employment of the several of them at one time in a mixture in diseases. It was never suspected that these histories of medicinal diseases would one day furnish the first rudiments of the true pure pure materia medica, which from the earliest times until now has considered solely by of false conjectures and frictions of the imaginations, that is to say, did not exist at all. So big aphorisms, that is aphorism that is regarding the doctrine of signature, role of doctrine signature, a priority speculations, that is history of drug provings, that is how allopath record the symptoms on healthy human beings, that is explained in this aphorism. That is, it is regarding the, although in few of the places, that is recording of effects of a drug on healthy human beings is there, but the intention of recorder is not to record the effect of a drug on healthy person. Few of the recorders have recorded the effects of drug on healthy person when the drug is taken by mistake or in order to produce the death. that is the pure and the peculiar power of medicines, to be learned neither by priori speculations, nor by smell, taste, or appearance, chemical analysis, nor by employment of the several of them at one time in a mixture, in details about the history of the effects of poisoning on healthy, either in large doses by mistake to produce the death in themselves or others, was never suspected that these details would one day furnish the first rudiments of true pure materia medica. So what they done the recording of that symptom when anyone took the poison to suicide, or anyone by mistake take some medicines or some drugs by mistake, and when they give the signs and symptoms, they record these signs and symptoms, and they show that we also have the record of proving the drug on a healthy human being, but that not the recording of the symptoms by giving that medicines. This is the accidental proving of that medicines. That is, someone takes some poison for suicide. In that case, they see the effects on that person and record the symptoms. The motto of there is not to record the symptom, but this is the accidental proving, and they record it. In this way, they done the recording of the medicines or the recording of the symptom on a healthy human beings. So this is the theme of that aphorism. That is, the intention of the recorder is not to record the effect of drug on healthy person, but few of the recorders have recorded the effects of drug on healthy person when drug is taken by mistake or in order to produce the death. It can be taken by mistake or it can be taken to produce the death, and these symptoms are recorded, and they told that the allopathy having the record of proving the drug on a healthy human beings. That is, in few places of recording of poisons effect of drug, there is there in order to caution of the other peoples, or in order to give idea of their skill, or in order to antidote. So these are the different ways by this they record the symptoms. In this aphorism also having a short note, that is, see what I have said on this subject in the examinations of the sources of ordinary materia medica prefixed to the third part of the my renin, that is translated in the materia medica pura. That is also a source of, that is the renin. So this is not so important. The main theme of that aphorism, you have to understand what is the theme of that aphorism. Aphorism 110. What is the theme? Anyone? Are you listening? So what is the main theme? That is, they record the symptoms not by the motto of recording, but the few recorded the symptom by accidental proving. These are the accidental proving. That is, it may be by mistake or it may be taken for the purpose of death, and they record the symptoms, and they told that we have the record of proving the medicine on a healthy human beings. That is the main theme of aphorism number 110. I hope you all understand about aphorisms. Aphorism number 105 to 110.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we will revise these aphorisms. That is, in aphorism number 105, we see about the investigation of the pathogenetic power of medicines in 105. In this we see what is drug, what is proving, and what is the